Now we're going to do some harder questions which involve solving equations, but the steps are the same. It's good to, this is a skill worth practicing because the order you do things is important. Remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to get x equals out of this. We're trying to find the value of x that makes it hold true. And we're going to do it by moving things around in the equation, but keeping it in balance by all times by doing the same thing to one side of the equation as you're doing to the other. Now when they look a bit like this, 5x plus something or something x plus something, the good thing to do is to get rid of that bit first. Now if it's 5x plus 12, I can get rid of that bit by taking away 12 from both sides of the equation. If I take away 2, I'm going to probably put all the steps in here, but later on I'll skip a few steps out. So 5x, and what we're going to do is we're going to take 12 from this side of the equation, but I also must take away 12 from this side of the equation. When I collect up my like terms here and group them up, but 12 take away 12, they cancel each other out, and so I'm going to be left with just 5x equals, and on this side of the equation, minus 8 minus 12 is equal to minus 20. Now, to solve this, 5x equals negative 20. I've got to, that's 5 times x, isn't it? So I've got to do the opposite of timesing by 5, which is dividing by 5. If I was to get both sides of the equation and divide them by 5, it will get rid of the 5's from this side. They'll cancel if you like. 5x divided by 5 is just x. And negative 20 divided by 5, or divided by positive 5, is going to equal negative 4. That's my answer to the equation. If you put this minus 4 back up into the original question, it will make it work. 5 times negative 4 plus 12 does equal negative 8. Let's do another one. With this one here, I would start by getting rid of this 2, and you can do that by taking it away from both sides. So negative 3x, and we've got plus 2. I'm going to take away 2, but I also must take it away from the other side of the equation. Negative 3x plus 2 minus 2 is just negative 3x. That's what I wanted. Equals minus 11 minus another 2 is minus 13. Now, I've got negative 3x equals minus 13. I want to get rid of that minus 3. Remember, it's negative 3 times x. So if I divide both sides by negative 3, I should have x by itself. Okay, now in this one here, the 3's will cancel. Negative 3 times x divided by 3. I'll just be left with x. Oh, that's not a minus sign there, so it's just negative 3 over. Okay. Negative 13 over negative 3. You could just realise that it's a negative divided by a negative, so we're going to get a positive answer. Or you could get out your calculator and go negative 13 divided by negative 3. I haven't got mine up here, but I do know the answer would be positive 4.33 is probably the best, most easy to understand answer that you can get there. Let's have a look at this one. Once again, this number on the end. The general plot that you do with these things is you try and get all your numbers onto one side and all your x's onto the other side of the equation. And generally you kind of move your numbers over first. And you can do that if we've got x divided by 2 minus 8. If we were to add 8 to both sides of the equation, we would have x over 2 take 8, take 8, and I'm going to add 8 onto it as well, equals 7 plus 8. So x divided by 2 is equal to 15, because those 8's cancel each other out. And Now it's x divided by 2 equals 15, so if I was to times both sides by 2 now, that would kind of get rid of that too, but I've also got to times this side by 2, and so that would mean that x equals 30. This one here, we've got numbers on both sides of the equation, but it's still the same thing. Try and get all your numbers onto the one side of the equation and all your x's onto the other side of the equation. So if I was to get this here and add 6 to both sides, because it's 2x take 6, if I was to add 6 onto that side and also add 6 onto this side, it would stay in balance, but importantly we've got this minus 6 here and this plus 6, they're going to cancel, and I just have 2x will equal 5x, and the 4 and the 6 can be added together, plus 10. Well, that's helped me a little bit, but what I now have to do is to get rid of this 5x from here. And I could do that by taking away 5x from both sides. If I take away 5x from this right-hand side, 5x minus 5x, they group together and cancel out. That'll be good, I'll just be left with 10 there. But here I've got 2x, take 5x, and will give me negative 3x. And now to get rid of this negative 3, if I divide both sides by negative 3, so that means x equals 10 divided by negative 3, and I'd probably pull out my calculator and do that, and the answer is negative 3.33. Okay, running out of space here. I've mucked this up a bit, haven't I? Well, let's see how I go. What I'm going to try and do is get all my numbers on one side and all my x's on the other side. I might start off by taking away 4 from both sides of the equation. Now, after a while, you'll be able to simplify the process. I've just done a lot of steps here. You can make it a little bit simpler sometimes. Okay, if I take away 4 from both sides of the equation, it will disappear from this side. But I've got to take away 4 from both sides. I'm also going to take away from here. Now, I've already got minus 14 here. I'm going to take away another 4. That'll give me minus 18. The next thing I want to do is get rid of this 18, this half x from here, and I could do it by taking it away. If I take away half x from this side of the equation, it's gone, but I've also got to take away half x from this side. And what's 5x? Take away a half x. Well, that'll be leave me with 4.5x. And what I might do here is I'll write that as 4.5x equals negative 18. Sorry, 4.5 x equals negative 18. And now, if I was to get out my calculator and go 18, or negative 18, divided by 4.5, because I want to get rid of that 4.5, divide both sides by 4.5, I'll have x equals negative 18 divided by 4.5, and if I was to get out my calculator and do that, I'm pretty sure the answer would work out to be minus 4, but check out that on your calculator. Last thing over here, this one here's got some brackets, and the best thing is always do your brackets first, so multiply that out before you start. So we'll have negative 4x plus 10 equals 1/2 times x, and 1/2 times the minus 7 is negative 3.5. You can work in decimals if you like, so it'll be negative 3.5. There's probably an easier way I could have done this, but I'm a bit stuck in here, so I'll probably stick to what I'm doing. So I would start by getting all my numbers onto one side of the equation, and I would probably do that by taking away 10 from both sides of the equation, Take it away from this side, I'm just left with negative 4x. Take away 10 from this side of the equation, I'll have half x, and minus 3.5 minus away another 10 is minus 13.5. Then I would probably take away a half x from both sides of the equation. Minus 4x, take away another half x is minus 4.5x, or minus 4.5x equals negative 13.5. And so that means that x is going to equal negative 13.5 divided by negative 4.5. And I think that means that x equals, if you get out your calculator and try this out, I think x equals positive 3.